Are you tired of looking and watching YouTube videos and TikToks of what is the best settings? What is the best graphic settings? Is this TikTok legit? Well, this is a short, simple, precise setting video that will give you the most frames and visual for 1080, 1440p, and higher resolution. Are you tired of scrolling? I will market everything up so you can just point it forward and back. Like, share, and follow, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you. Nvidia settings. So on this one is really simple. I have all the settings put it on for the performance and visual part of not only Call of Duty but other games like Battlefield and first-person shooters that requires a lot of CPU and GPU working together. On the first point, it's adjust image settings with the preview, where you have the this one part on the performance and the middle part you put it on 3D settings. Then you press the take me there, and this is the settings that you're gonna have on Nvidia control. Everything is been tested by benchmarking and different frames and monitors in games and PCs to have control. So it's just to copy paste, and you will have one overall total good performance on your games compared to frames you will get on your CPU and GPU working together. Remember always when you're changing the settings to do the apply button, and then you're gonna do back on the next one. That's a configure surround physics. There's nothing much to do here about just changing this one, the physical settings. Auto select to Nvidia card or Ryzen card you're using. Then go to the next one. We will be the part of changing resolution. Remember to always have your native resolution on the PC part, not on Ultra HD, because it will change your frames and visual and everything. Always have your refresh rate on the highest part, which is possible. And for the last part, we'll go down here, use the Nvidia color settings with the highest RGB full. And some people will have 10 and 12. There's no visual difference, but I will recommend just have it on 8, as far as I've seen. But that's something you as well need to check out. For the next part, it's the adjust desktop color settings. Check all these settings is after how your monitor is. My monitor is a little dark, so I have the brightness up. The contrast is a little low, they're all because no visual on Call of Duty. One thing I can recommend is tuning on the digital vibrance. As higher you go, your more colorful the games and everything will look. Number that's acceptable for the most of monitors between 60 and 17. So everything is after what you preferred. If we go to the next one, it will be the adjust desktop size and position. Here I want to recommend just using no scaling to make it easy for yourself. Remember to have the resolution on your current, which is the highest, with the correct refresh rate. If struggling with the frames that's below what your hertz is on your monitor, I will recommend using G-Sync. So for example, if you have 165 monitor and you only get like 100 frames, G-Sync can help to try and boost it up, but if not, just have it off. Same here on the multiple displays, just check that your monitor is having a check. There's only one thing you're gonna do on the video color settings, that's turning on the Nvidia settings, go to advanced and have it on full. The same is here on the video major, just remember to have everything on standard. Press apply and we should go through the next one, which is the Call of Duty settings. Okay people, so this is the Call of Duty. Just remember that if it says shader optimization, let it go for itself in the menu. Don't press anything, just let it finish. Then you won't have any problems when you are playing this game. So I'm a keyboard and mouse player, and one of the few settings that I will recommend is having the IDS sensitivity type on relative. If you are on 1080, the monitor distance is 133, but if you are on 4040p, it's 178. This just the scaling correct for your sensitivity when you are play on keyboard and mouse. After all, everything is just default, nothing special except the third person ADS correction, which I prefer just precision. If you go to gameplay, crouch behavior is on toggle for my part, and if you want to do the snaking like you can do on the controller, but want to do it on a keyboard and mouse, I would recommend have it on behavior go to, and then you will just practice on the fire range. The tactical sprint is on the default with the double tap, close backpack on sprint, automatic airborne off, shear sliders independent, and the movements and things is fairly standard, except the plunging on the water. This is the keybinds I use on my keyboard and mouse. As you can see in the gameplay, this is just most of them are standard, so except some changes after what I prefer. There's nothing huge difference. All right, so let's go to the best part, which is the graphic settings. So there's a lot of things and a lot of videos that shows you how to do this, how to do this, and how to do that. There is a lot of good videos, but nobody mentions on how wide they're and simple as that without whole day explaining. So it's really simple in Call of Duty. Call of Duty is really bad optimized and very focused on the CPU, where the GPU will give you some boost. So if you're playing on 1080, you will have one part of that. But if you're playing on 4040 or higher, you can get benefit from the game by using, example, upscaling, which will looks the same but more frames. But I will come back to it later in the video. Display mode, I play on full screen borderless because I stream and it's so much easier when you tap out. I will recommend having it on full screen exclusive for lowest latency. Remember to have the display monitor on your GPU and monitor. The screen refresh rate should be on your monitor refresh rate and your recommended resolution that's displayed. The dynamic resolution is off, but as I said earlier today with the Nvidia control settings, if you are struggling with your frame rates really much, I can recommend have it on and target it on the monitor's frame rate target if you are struggling. Aspect ratio is automatic, VSync off, VSync on the menu off. Custom frame rate, if you are having high temperature on your GPU, I will have it on custom. Gameplay, about 100 frames maximum over your refresh rate. In the menu, just do 60, 90, and 30. This will do the GPU less stressful and will have some breaks while you are not playing the game. Eco mode off. Normal standard settings. Display gamma, if you're playing on a monitor, have it on 2.2. If you're playing on a TV, have it on 2.4. The brightness is personal after what type of monitor. The last part is HDR. If you want some extra frames but much better colors, you can turn it on. The only downside is if you're streaming on Streamlabs or OBS, you need a capture card and a second PC to convert the colors right to the stream, because OBS and all these streaming decks cannot handle the encoding. If you are just a casual gamer or want some better colors, I will recommend HDR. The quality here is where we go to the main part. As I said earlier, if you're playing on 1080, I will recommend having it on Fidelity FX CAS or off. All depends on the sharpening, because the Fidelity use about 1 to 2% of your frames for more sharpness. Have it between 30 and 40. If you're like me, playing on 2K, I will recommend using Nvidia image scaling on ultra quality and around the same as Fidelity, 30 to 40 sharpness. This will make the game go from 4040 to about a little more than 1080. Looks the same, but you will have about 20 to 30% more frames. This game is so well optimized. Anti-aliasing is something that people a lot been discussing. If you have a good GPU or okay GPU like myself, I use a 3060 Ti, I will have it on Filmic SMR2X. If you are really struggling with your frames, I will recommend the SMR. Anyway, if you're using one of them, have it on normal. Low will just make it really blurry, and on high ultra quality, it's just a waste of frames. The video memory scale is really dependent on your GPU. I personally use it on 80. If you're struggling with lag, I will recommend turning it down to like 70 or 60. 70 could be good. On the next part, you have the details and textures. The texture resolution should be on very low. If you have a high-end PC like a 4070 Ti, 80 Ti or something, or 4090 or 3090, I could recommend have it on low, or even 3080. The texture filter on this topic should be on normal. It doesn't make so much difference on the frames, like 0.5%, but it looks a lot more clear when you play on game in a bigger map like Almazara or Resurgent Wonder. The inertia level of details is on low. Distance level of detail is low. The clutter draw distance should be on invisible. You can go to the file, throw Call of Duty on your documents and take it off. Particle quality is low. Particle quality level is very low. Bullet impact is on. That's a personal preference. Don't care, you should just have it off. It takes like 0.5% of your frames in non-visible difference. The precision damage layers off. Shader quality is low. Tessellation off. On-demand texture streaming off. All these settings that's off is off because the game eats the frames. It's unnecessary settings. Streaming quality on low, but this should be just low. Volumetric quality is low. Deferred physical quality off. Water quality on default. Shadow map resolution very low. Screen space shadow off. Spot shadow quality low. Spot catch. This is a point where people a lot of discuss if it should be on high, low, ultra, whatever. Everything depends on your GPU combined with your CPU. Fine on the high. Others like my PC has on ultra. So I will recommend to use it. You can see it on the low fifths and low ones. Which one is the best one when you are changing on the spot catch? After all, the rest is particle lighting is low, ambient occlusion off, screen space is off, static reflection low, water grind low and low, Nvidia reflects low latency on. Some people it works fine on plus boost. You need to do this same as well on this one as the spot catch. See which one gives you best latency and best low end frames. Depth of field off, and 0. On the view part, personal preference. I play on 115 field of view because those 5 extra field of view makes a huge difference for the visual for myself. No visual difference on the recoil. Or else it's the first person camera movement. I would recommend having it on 50. Third person camera movement at least on 50. Others field of view, I would recommend have it on affected. If you have it on independent, you will get a zoom, as you can see here, when you are ADSing with a gun, which can be very disturbing and feeling very much higher with these hands when you play. Weapon field of the game, I personally like it when it's on white because it makes the gun look smaller, but some people like it on default or have it on arrow. Like, share and follow. I hope these settings gives you the most performance you can get. If there are some questions, I'm live on the Twitch, TikTok, and I'm easy to be contacted on the Discord. All links is in my social bio, and I hope you have a wonderful night.